NASCAR was back today, baby. Let's just jump straight into talk about the race. What's going on, guys? And welcome back to another race review here on the channel. Today, we are going to be talking about the 2020 The Real Heroes 400, possibly the most important NASCAR race in a long time, possibly since the 1979 Daytona 500, possibly the most important NASCAR race in NASCAR history. Let's go ahead and talk about it. And I think today's race lived up to the hype. There's great racing all around. But let's go ahead and talk about the events, and then I'll get into talking about the racing in this event. Before the race even began, Kyle Busch, who was originally supposed to start fourth, after drawing to start fourth, Kyle Busch basically failed tech twice. So he would have to start at the back. He would pretty much drive up to the front. We'll talk a little more about Kyle Busch here when we get to talk about Kyle Busch himself. Let's go ahead and start talking about the race. So we went green flag racing on lap 1. It seemed like it was going to be a clean start. And then Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who I think was trying to pass Cole Custer, he got into the inside of Cole Custer, and if he spins out, unfortunately, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. would not even complete the first lap and wouldn't even make it through lap 1 before the crash because of Stenhouse bringing out the caution for the first time. We would go back green on lap 7, and we would go green for the next 20 laps, and then the caution would come out at lap 31 for that competition caution. And I kind of like what they were doing for the competition caution when they came down pit road and no one would lose positions. Remember, the top 20 drivers would come in pit road first, and then 21st through 40th, which included guys like Martin Truex Jr. and Kyle Busch, they would come in second. And throughout that first one, it looked like Martin Truex Jr. had a really, really bad ill-handling car. He fell back from like 7th to like 30th place, which wasn't very good. And then we went back racing out on lap 40 with Brad Keselowski, the race leader at the time. And then Alex Bowman got a really good run down the front stretch and passed him for the race lead. The race, we would go green for the next 50 laps. Then Jimmy Johnson, after Alex Bowman's car kind of fell off, he passes Alex Bowman for the race lead with 10 laps to go. But unfortunately, as we were coming to the end of the checker flag on stage 1, Jimmy Johnson, the leader of the race, the guy who I think had a really good car up to this point, he unfortunately gets into Chris Buescher. It looked like just a racing incident, which is a mistake. Racing is racing. You're going to have moments like that. And unfortunately for Jimmy Johnson, his day would come to an end early, which really, really sucked because Jimmy Johnson, I think, had a car that could have honestly won this race today. But instead, he's going to finish 38th in this race, which is a really great shame. But hey, if that car is as good as it was, he's got a shot to win. I think he could win. And because of this, William Byron, who was running second at the time, who was catching Jimmy Johnson, he was able to win stage 1. Here are the stage 1 results. William Byron first, Denny Hamlin second, Alex Bowman third, Kevin Harvick fourth, Brad Keselowski fifth, Eric Almirola 6th, Clint Bowyer 7th, Tyler Reddick 8th, 9th place was Ryan Newman, which was really impressive to see him up in 9th, and Chase Elliott finishes 10th in stage number 1. Then we went back racing on lap 98, and the race kind of played out for a little bit, and it looked like at the point Alex Bowman, it looked to me like Kevin Harvick had a really, really strong car. He got the lead on the restart and just pretty much took off because Brad Keselowski got a big push by Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick would pretty much dominate this portion of the race. And then caution number 4 would come out in this event. William Byron, it looked like he had a loose wheel going down the backstretch because Denny Hamlin easily passed him. Like something's going wrong with William Byron's car. And unfortunately, William Byron would get into the outside wall going into turn 3. And unfortunately for William Byron, his day would come. Well, he'd still be on the track, but unfortunately, because of the damage, his chances to win the race were pretty much over. Then we went back racing on lap 116 with Kevin Harvick, the race leader. And there was some pretty good battle between him and Alex Bowman and Brad Keselowski for the race lead. And then caution number 5 would come out for Daniel Suarez. It looks like Daniel Suarez kind of had a similar situation that what happened to William Byron. And unfortunately, Daniel Suarez would spin out. Unfortunately for Daniel Suarez, he didn't really get a lot of damage. So he's able to continue on throughout the race. Then we went back racing for a few laps, for about 25 to 30 laps. And then guess what happens? Debris. The blue emu banner off of turn 2 comes loose off the wall. We saw some craziness in this race, and that was another crazy thing that happened in this event. Kevin Harvick was, not Kevin Harvick, I think a couple cars got hit by it. Denny Hamlin, I believe, got hit that, and he had some damage. Then Tyler Reddick hit the right front quarter panel, and unfortunately, because of this, the caution will come out, which would be good for Denny Hamlin because he still had some of that on the car when we saw it during the pit stop. Then we went back racing on lap 161, and Kevin Harvick would have the race lead for this portion of the race. And then the next caution would come out on lap 174, about 15 laps in the run. Christopher Bell was not apparently clear. He got a little bit sideways coming off of turn number 4. I think he had maybe a loose wheel, or he just got loose off the corner. Unfortunately for him, he was spin down the front stretch, and he would basically lose a really strong run because he was having, I think, a pretty good run, top 15 run to be exact. But unfortunately for Christopher Bell, that would go away for him because he never really recovered after this crash. We went back racing on lap 178, and the race leader would be Brad Keselowski in this event. And Brad Keselowski rolled off hard chargers like Kevin Harvick and Alex Bowman, and he was able to score the win in stage number 2. Then we went back racing on lap 193 with Brad Keselowski with Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, the race leader, and he was able to take off on the start. And then the caution would come out on lap 213, which would change the race. The 17 of Chris Buescher and the 95 of Christopher Bell, they had issues. It didn't seem like Christopher Bell was clear. He had a little contact with Chris Buescher. He was trying to make a pass, and there was a little contact between us two. They would both end up getting damaged. Chris Buescher had 2 incidents in this race. Kind of not really of his doing, just unfortunate circumstances that did happen in this event. And while this was going on, Joey Logano came down pit road. He looked like he had a loose wheel, and he was coming down the pit road. Unfortunately for Joey Logano, he went back all the way down pit road, and he was able to not get a penalty because he stayed out on the racetrack. So he was good to go for that. Then we went back racing on lap 219 with Kevin Harvick, the race leader. He had some challenges from Alex Bowman and Brad Keselowski in this, but Kevin Harvick was able to drive away. And then the caution would come out with 21 laps to go, with 39 laps to go in this race. Ryan Newman, who was looking like he was going to come down pit road, he got a little bit of sideways, and he would bring out the final caution of this race. Looked like he was coming down pit road, but he saved it, and he was able to continue on, and I think he got a pretty decent finish as well. And then we went back racing at 2:30, and it looked for a little bit that it was going to come down between Alex Bowman and Kevin Harvick for the win. I basically was saying, Bowman, you need to pass Harvick. You need to be aggressive on this restart because this could be the final restart of this race. And unfortunately, Bowman was not able to pass Kevin Harvick, and Kevin Harvick basically drove off to the sunset, and Kevin Harvick was able to score his first win of the 2020 season, and he also scores his 50th career Cup Series victory, the 50th Cup Series win. He's now tied with Junior Johnson and Ned Jarrett on the all-times wins list. I think he's like 13th or 14th on the all-times win list now. And to be tied with 50, welcome to the 50-win club, Kevin Harvick. Welcome to the 50-win club. And I think that's really, really cool. So congratulations to Kevin Harvick on the win. Let's just go ahead and talk about the race results. So Kevin Harvick wins the race. Alex Bowman, who I think had a really strong day as well, comes home second. Kurt Busch had a solid day as well, finishes third. Chase Elliott gets a 4th place finish. He was not up at the front a lot of this race. And at the second half, he came alive and got a top 5. Really great run. And Denny Hamlin, who I think at one point had the best car in this event, but unfortunately, he just never really recovered. And Denny Hamlin comes home with a 5th place finish. Strong run for Hamlin. Martin Truex Jr. had to bounce back after being really ill. Not a really ill handling car, I should say. 6th place run. I give a thumbs up to that. Tyler Reddick finishes 7th. He comes back from a speeding penalty to get a top 10. Tyler Reddick, man, he's a future talent in NASCAR. He's one of the best I think I've ever seen. And I think he's going to be someone we're going to have to watch for the long term to come. Eric Jones gets 8th. He had a solid run. I thought he'd be a little bit better, to be honest with you. But again, no one really knew what to expect. It was hard to predict this, and I just picked Eric Jones because he was really solid. But once again, another 8th place run, another top 10 run. Eric Jones is really good here. I think this is going to be a really strong track for him when we do come back Wednesday night. Weather forecast is not looking great, though. We'll talk about that at the end of the episode. John Hunter Nemechek with the 9th place run. Let me just say this. John Hunter Nemechek getting a top 10 with a front row motorsports car just shows how talented this cat really, really is. I think he is, like Tyler Reddick, he's a future sensation in the sport. He's going to win a lot of cup races in his time. A 9th place run in a front row motorsports car. Can these teams just call him up for next year because he's the future of the sport? And in Matt Kenseth, in his return, in his first race back in the sport since 2018, in his first race with the new aero package, a 10th place run. That's impressive. I thought he would finish like 20th or 25th in this race. He got a 10th place finish. That's really, really impressive. 11th place goes to Austin Dillon. 12th place goes to Eric Almirola. 13th place goes to Brad Keselowski. I don't know what happened to Brad, to be honest with you. He had a really fast car at one point. 13th place is not a very good finish. I guess the car fell off. Matt DiBenedetto finishes 14th. 15th place goes to Ryan Newman. I think that's really, really impressive. A 15th place run, at times in the top 10. I think Ryan Newman, in my honest opinion, for him to come back and finish 15th, and he hasn't raced in a car in 2 months, and after having like a head injury, come back and finish 15th, that's inspirational and really, really impressive, and I'm happy to see Ryan Newman back. 16th place, Ryan Blaney. I thought Blaney was going to have a really strong day today. I really thought he was going to be good. 16th is not that good, Blaney. He got some work to do. Hopefully when we come out to Darlington on Wednesday night, he'll do a lot better, but 16th place, not very good. 17th place goes to Clint Bowyer. I thought Bowyer had a little bit better finish. He was running top 10 at points, just didn't have the car at the end. Joey Logano finishes 18th. Again, I think that loose wheel kind of screwed him over. 19th place goes to Ty Dillon, and Ryan Preece finishes 20th. Ryan Preece is actually going to start on the pole for Wednesday night's race. Remember, if you didn't watch my video a couple days ago, I stated that whoever finishes 20th in this race is actually going to start on the pole. So Ryan Preece finishes 20th. Bubba Wallace finishes 21st. 22nd goes to Cole Custer. 23rd goes to Michael McDowell. 24th place goes to Christopher Bell. 25th goes to Daniel Suarez. That's a good run for Suarez. Kyle Busch finishes 26th. I didn't talk about this, but Kyle Busch, it looks like he got a loose wheel. He had an off and on day. He certainly didn't have a great day. Hopefully they can turn around next time we come here because he was in the top 10 at the end of the thing. It's a shame. Hopefully Kyle Busch can come back from this. 27 goes to Brennan Poole. 28th goes to J.J. Yuli. 29th, Reed Sorensen. And finishing 30th is Joey Gase. 31st goes to Corey LaJoie. 32nd place goes to Chris Buescher. 33rd, Timmy Hill. 34th goes to Josh Bilicki. 35th goes to William Byron. 36th, Quinn Houff. 37th, Garrett Smithley. 38th, Jimmy Johnson. 39th, B.J. McLeod. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who did not complete a single lap in this race, finishes last in 40th place. Kind of looking at the point standings right now, the points leader right now is Kevin Harvick, followed by Alex Bowman, Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, Eric Almirola, Ryan Blaney, Matt DiBenedetto still 9th, and Clint Bowyer and Martin Truex Jr. are tied for 10th place. Now, let's go ahead and talk about my opinions of the race. My opinion of this race is going to be a lot higher than a normal Darlington race. I think the race had solid moments. It had really good moments, as a matter of fact, and at points on the restart especially. This package has been really, really strong with the restarts. But I think there were some definitely some bad moments in this race, some great moments. I think you had all the good moments in between and some crazy moments as well, like that banner flying off the wall. But let me just say this for the record. I don't care how this race went today. It could have been a single file moment. It could have been a single file train. I was just happy that NASCAR is back. And because of the fact that NASCAR has returned and is back, and we're going to see racing for many days. In fact, we got 6 races in the next 10 days. 6 more races in the next 10 days. It's going to be really entertaining. And I'm going to give my score. I'm going to give this race a 9.5 out of 10. Just because I'm so happy that NASCAR is back. I don't know how the ratings are going to be for this race. I hope they are a little bit higher, to be quite honest with you. Because this race, I think, had a lot of great moments. And I am really happy that NASCAR is back. And I'm really excited we get to see more racing the rest of the week. However, though, looking at the weather for the races coming up, not looking very good. Tuesday night, looks like there's going to be thunderstorms. Wednesday, thunderstorms. Hopefully that does change. I hope the weather kind of gets out of the area so I can watch the race live. Once again, I apologize for you being up so late. I had to work this afternoon, so I actually did not get to watch the race live because I had to work 11:30 to 5:30 during the race. So I apologize for you being up so late. But anyway, that is going to be it for my review. Man, about 15 minutes this video was. A long episode for my review for the 2020 Real Heroes 400. So, anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on so you can be notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Links in the description below for that. And comment your thoughts on today's race. Are you excited that NASCAR has returned? And what did you think of today's race? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. And I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.